Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, staff, family, and friends of the graduates, and members of this, our graduating class of 2015, welcome to the Berkeley Haas MBA commencement ceremony. I am Rich Lyons, Dean of the Haas School. It's my duty and great pleasure to officiate with you today at this ceremony. What a great day this is for all of us. I have a few minutes to try to sum up your experience here. Not an easy task, given how much you have crammed in and accomplished to in your time here with us. But while you were here, you too were transformed in this process in a number of ways, and let me focus on a few of those ways briefly. The first is how you've been transformed here at Berkeley Haas in the sense that the experiences you've had here really were designed to help transform you. I'm lucky enough as an alum of this school to have experienced this myself. Berkeley and the Haas School will grab you by the collar and shake you and will tell you, you have more degrees of freedom to live your life than you realize. Now go use them, right? These are things that open our eyes to the many elements of life that are accessible to us if we're courageous enough to take them on, and that's part of what we are all doing here together. Second, you experienced a huge transformation in your time here in moving from what we call, they do that, people over there do that, other people do that, they start companies. From they do that to I do that. This is available to me. I may not choose this, but I get it. Your educational experience at Berkeley Haas has elevated you to a more auspicious position in the world, opening many new doors to what you can accomplish as an individual and also as leaders working through and with others. It means you now know you can start your own firm if you want to. That's part of I Do That. It means you can take on a leadership role in an industry or a field that you only dreamed about before. I Do That. It means you can take on the challenge of addressing one of the world's greatest challenges or problems. I do that. These transformations are possible because of how and what you learned here about leadership. You were given the skills to be innovative leaders. We define that kind of a leader as a person who creates value by putting new ideas into action, bringing them into the world of action and into the marketplace. You were also shaped by our distinctive Berkeley Haas culture that supports the development of these leaders. We have, as you all know, 4 defining principles that define our culture here at Berkeley Haas. We use these things for admissions to do make very, very real decisions. They are, first, question the status quo. Innovative leaders are always asking themselves, isn't there a better way to do this? That is a habit of mind I love working around, and I know you do too. Question the status quo. Second, confidence without attitude, because true confidence comes without arrogance. Third, students always. Innovative leaders know that they always have something to learn, even at the peak of their career. At the top of your career, do you know you have feedback to hear? And do the people who work with and for you know that you know that? Beyond yourself, a sense of stewardship for something larger, leading ethically and responsibly, taking the longer view. These are important ingredients to what it means to be a Berkeley Haas graduate, and we take them super seriously. Indeed, as I mentioned, you are selected based upon them. These principles reflect who you are as students, the kind of person you will be in your careers. This is why it is a mutual attraction between this remarkable group of people that we are very, very proud of, and this institution, Berkeley Haas, that is one of society's most important assets. And while you were here, you were further shaped by these principles as you interacted with your fellow students and also with the faculty and staff who share these values. I hope you will continue to live by them on the next stages in your journey, in your life. Finally, before we proceed, I want to offer special thanks to a group of individuals who have worked hard to make this day possible for all of us. That is, the parents, the spouses, the family, and the friends of you, these graduating students in the audience today. Big round of applause. You owe them, okay? Thank you for nurturing and supporting these wonderful people. These are wonderful people and leaders that stand before us here. You coached them, you cajoled them, you stood steadfastly by them through these busy days as students. Now, turning to another part of our ceremony here, a very important part, one of the great traditions of the Haas School here at commencement. Each year we call upon an individual of uncommon distinction to address us here as the MBA graduating class. We seek a person who embodies commitment to excellence, a distinguished record of achievement. In the Berkeley Haas tradition, we also seek an individual who personifies the values of innovative leadership and our defining principles. This year, we are delighted that the Haas School commencement speaker is such a leader and one of our own graduates, alum John Stroop. Since 2005, John has served as president and CEO of St. Louis, Missouri-based Belden, Inc., a Fortune 1000 company. Belden's focus is on the hardware and software connections that make our wired world work. It designs and manufactures cable and connectivity and networking products that allow for the things that are changing our world, the transfer of video, audio, data from one point to another. Many of us here today probably surely own many Belden products, or they are embedded in the products that we use every day. Belden has a rich history. It was founded in 1902 by Joseph Belden. The firm started as a manufacturer of magnetic copper wire used for telephone coils. Thomas and Edison was an early customer. In the past decade, Belden's value has increased, just in the past decade, from $1 billion US to $5 billion. It has made 14 acquisitions. The firm's growth since John was named CEO has been attributed to his stellar leadership and also his deliberate use of culture and metrics to strengthen the firm. John attended the evening weekend MBA program at Berkeley Haas while working full-time at precision engineering manufacturer Parker Hannifin in Rohnert Park, and also raising a young family. He graduated 20 years ago. It was the class of 1995. He earned his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Northwestern University. I had the privilege of spending time with John last fall at a Cal versus Northwestern football game in Evanston. Cal won the game, by the way, and John was a terrific host. Look, it was just a great chance for me to connect with one of our alums that is doing remarkable work and, like me and like all of you, feels a wonderful and deep connection to our school. He's an exemplar of the type of leader that Berkeley Haas strives to produce. He demonstrates the power of your Berkeley MBA degree and where it can take you. We are so pleased he is here to share his knowledge and insights. Please join me in welcoming John Stroop back to campus.
So as a Northwestern and Cal football fan, you can imagine that when they play each other, it's the only time you don't have to feel nervous about the outcome. Neither school is particularly good. So thank you, Dean Lyons, for the opportunity to speak at this year's MBA graduation. I met Dean Lyons approximately 20 years ago. Neither of us had gray hair back then, as I recall. And at the time, he was Professor Lyons, and he was my instructor for international finance. At the risk of being a giant brown nose, Professor Lyons was my best teacher I ever had. Even better than my third grade teacher, Mrs. Mikan, who I admit was my first crush. And with our current predicament of uncoordinated global monetary policies, I use what he taught me more than I ever imagined. And in case I forgot to tell you 20 years ago, Rich, thank you for being my teacher. And if I ever do realize my dream to teach, please know that it would be in part because of you. To the graduates, congratulations on an outstanding achievement and an important professional and personal milestone. I earned my MBA from Haas while working full-time, so I feel qualified to share the following. We'll have something for you guys later. So I feel qualified to share the following with your spouses, partners, children, and family. You have reason to be proud, and I bid you a speedy return to significantly less interrupted evenings, weekends, holidays, and vacations. Preparing for this event was a wonderful opportunity for me to reflect on my life, rediscover my intense fondness for business, economics, and capitalism, and contemplate how all of you, with your recently acquired skills and experiences, can help address society's pressing issues. By way of background, I grew up the son of a commercial pilot who was a proud member of the Airline Pilots Association. Among the many things I learned from my father, he showed me how easily misunderstandings between management and labor could damage a company culture in ways that were profoundly harmful to employees, customers, and investors. My mother grew up on a farm in Ohio, and I spent a few weeks most summers baling hay at my grandfather's farm, and that is where I first understood what it meant to have a results orientation. And as an undergrad at Northwestern, I studied engineering because I liked math, and I took humanities because I had to. A blessing in disguise, however, because this is how I was first introduced to the principles of economics and political science. It almost seemed unfair that these courses counted towards my degree. That's how much I enjoyed them. And immediately following my graduation, I joined Parker Hannifin as a field application engineer. Sounded pretty good. I was horrified to learn 3 months after my start date that I was actually a salesperson with a quota, something that I thought was something only for the engineers with lesser grades. After learning that this injustice had no impact on my pay or ability to support myself, my father strongly encouraged me to stick with it. So I did. And with the benefit of hindsight, I can't think of a better first job. This is when my love of business really caught fire, and it was the motivation for my application to attend Haas Business School. It is my sincere belief that capitalism, or as some prefer, free enterprise, has done more for the health, happiness, and prosperity of humankind than any other system the world has yet seen. However, it's good that at a business school graduation we get applause for capitalism. I was a little worried. My CFO said, you know, at Berkeley, I'm not sure capitalism's that popular. I said, this is a business school, so I thought I'd take a chance. However, we're dealing with a significant brand issue that we, all of us, must collectively overcome. All professions have its bad apples, and we've certainly had our share. Moreover, the efficiency and elegance of capitalism can be raw and difficult for many to understand and accept. The benefits are obvious. Competition, accountability, and rewards encourage risk-taking, fuel excellence, and starve mediocrity. And it provides an opportunity for individual upward mobility unmatched in any other system. Capitalism, however, can be harsh. Its rewards can be viewed by many as excessive, and its consequences unnecessarily punitive. For example, globalization has produced a long list of winners, but also some losers. Income inequality is a hot topic these days. It's absolutely true that income distribution within the United States is currently far from optimal. On the other hand, global income has never been distributed so evenly. An astounding number of people in China have escaped hunger as their economy has transitioned from planned to free enterprise. Additionally, all of us in developed economies have benefited significantly from increased purchasing power. However, some in developed countries, like ours, have lost their jobs as companies have realized staggering levels of productivity through the application of new technology, much of it invented by companies connected to this great university, a massive global supply of eager workers willing to work for lower wages, and slower economic growth. The important question is, how can the world continue to reap the significant aggregate benefits of capitalism while softening the impact from shocks, such as those too frequently experienced in recent history, on our hardworking fellow citizens? Unfortunately, I think we've learned that government intervention, albeit well-intended, often make things worse. Regardless of your political persuasion and who you'd prefer to blame for the Great Recession, I am of the belief the root cause was a housing bubble that was caused, albeit by well-intended, unnatural government incentives. The flexibility of renting a home has value, and to unnaturally encourage home ownership through tax incentives and lending quotas will have unwanted consequences on the market. At least that's what our economics professors told us. And although allowing our banks to collapse would have inflicted more harm to us, banks taking excessive risk without consequences is a recipe for disaster. So if not regulation, then what? I think the country simply needs more great leaders that run businesses in an honest and transparent way. I hope and believe as I look upon the audience that you are exactly what we need. Leaders that understand how to simultaneously satisfy the needs of customers, investors, and employees. As someone that attempts to do just that each day, I can tell you that it is a balancing act that's not easily achieved. It begins, in my experience, by creating a culture where all are valued and each constituent feels connected and accountable to the other two. In such an environment, a company has the opportunity to have an enormously positive impact on the lives of its employees and their families. Many of us spend more time with our coworkers than we do our own family. So we all desire a work experience that is fulfilling, the definition of which varies greatly by individual. And as studies have shown over time, a highly engaged workforce is far more likely to consistently satisfy customers and produce higher returns for shareholders. When functioning at full potential, this machine becomes the foundation for a prosperous society with opportunities for all. I think we also need people like you to consider using your skills to impact other important areas of society. I know many of you will pursue traditional paths that include investment banking, management consulting, and business management. However, I ask you to at least consider using recently acquired skills to positively impact one or more of the following three areas, which are currently impacted by two of the world's greatest challenges: globalization and an aging population. The first area in need of serious help, which also happens to be my personal passion, is education. I came from a family with a long list of teachers, including my sister, who teaches 8th grade math in Portland, Oregon. Little shout out for Portland. I believe strongly that a necessary and fundamental ingredient of effective and functioning capitalism is access to quality education. And perhaps never has that been truer than now. Because of technological innovation, demand for unskilled labor has never been less, and because of globalization, the supply of unskilled labor has never been more. Every citizen deserves the opportunity to learn the skills necessary to pursue a career that is personally rewarding. Unfortunately, as my sister shares with me frequently, our public school system in aggregate is failing. Because it is largely protected from the healthy forces of competition, our public school system has been allowed to survive at an acceptable level of performance. The reasons are debated endlessly, and they include overly tolerant parents, of which I am one, unmotivated students, and unaccountable teachers. I'm sure the truth lies somewhere in the middle, but I believe the solution for our country will be a system where customers, in this case students and persons, are offered a choice. In such a system, strong schools will thrive and expand by attracting the best teachers, students, and capital, and the weak schools will vanish. We need people like you to help us solve this problem. The second area I'd like you to consider is healthcare. Some of you, good, we need you. Some of you may have read a wonderful book by Clay Christensen entitled The Innovator's Dilemma. Clay has subsequently written a book entitled The Innovator's Prescription. In his book, he leverages his knowledge of business and more specifically the lessons of the Toyota production system to understand the predicament of healthcare. His analysis, in my view, supports a credible recommendation that healthcare is made up of three distinct value streams, and in the case of routine procedures, It is similar to production line found in a manufacturing environment. Unlike manufacturing, where productivity improvement is routine and continuous, healthcare has been accustomed to increasing prices in excess of inflation because the model is based on the reimbursement of activity rather than outcomes. This is, of course, unsustainable. And given the extended life expectancy and reduced birth rate in developed countries, our already troubled healthcare system will be severely challenged, and it desperately needs people like you with skills such as yours. The third area in need of your skills is our government. At the risk of stating the obvious, our government desperately needs a more analytical, disciplined, and accountable approach to smartly collecting revenue and efficiently providing essential services. I suspect our founding fathers didn't contemplate the notion of a career politician. Rather, I believe they envisioned people such as us would serve our country, and only briefly, for the common good, without fear or motivation of re-election, and then return to our lifelong profession. I hope some of you will consider investing a portion of your life making our government more efficient and accountable. In closing, whatever you choose as your profession, I wish you a happy and prosperous life. I recently read a book written by Arthur Brooks, president of the American Enterprise Institute, where he argues that earned success is the key to happiness. Success does not have to be financial success. Earned success, Brooks said, is the belief that you are creating value in your life and value in the lives of other people. I found that to be true in my life, and I hope you find the same. Thank you for your time and attention, and again, congratulations on a wonderful achievement.
Thank you for that, John. Thinking about honest and transparent leadership, right? Thinking about education and healthcare and public sector service. It is a symptom of our age that so few of the most capable young people are even thinking about a public sector career. It is one of the major issues. Thank you for calling that out, John, and thank you for being with us here today. Let us now turn to our class of 2015 full-time MBA students. Here, as most of you know, full-time MBA program is one of the top 3 most selective MBA programs, admitting an average of 13 to 14% of the applicants each year. This means these graduates are truly among the most outstanding anywhere. And the brightest of them all each year is honored with the full-time program MBA Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement. This honor goes to the student completing his or her graduate studies with the highest grade point average in the whole class. This year's award winner is Sharif Karmali. Sharif achieved an impressive GPA, are you ready for this, of 3.982. Where is that .018? Where did that go? Sharif, congratulations. Holy smokes. Sharif, whose hometown is Toronto, Canada, worked in mergers and acquisitions at UBS Investment Bank before coming to Berkeley Haas. While here, he discovered a passion for teaching that led him to become a graduate student instructor for 6 courses and earn an outstanding GSI award for his efforts. He also served the community as a volunteer for Reading Partners in Oakland, among other roles. Because Sharif discovered a passion for building better business models as a student, he will join Adobe Systems as a manager in the Business Model Strategy Group. Sharif, terrific job. Thank you. We now recognize the winners of the Full-Time MBA Service and Leadership Awards. Each year, the MBA Association and the MBA Program Office recognize second-year full-time MBA students who have demonstrated extraordinary leadership. These students have gone above and beyond the call of duty to enhance the Berkeley MBA experience through outstanding service to their classmates and to the wider Haas community. They also best embody the school's defining principles. This is an award from the Haas community in which the awardees were nominated by their peers and selected and vetted by a representative committee composed of MBA students and administrators. These students have served in both elected leadership roles as well as informal roles through which they have gained the respect and the appreciation of our community, exercising great influence beyond any formal authority. Among their many accomplishments, they have led outstanding initiatives to increase and support the diversity of the student body, including women, underrepresented students, and the LGBT community. As I announce the full-time MBA recipients of the Service and Leadership Awards, I will ask each of you to please stand. The first is Katie Benintende. The second is Nikita Mitchell. Nikita. The third, Sandeep Pahuja. Sandeep. Jesse Samuel Silberberg is the fourth. And the fifth is Corey Vargas Caro. Corey. These are extraordinary people, and I've had the pleasure of working with all of them. We are very, very proud of this group of people. Now you will hear from a graduating MBA student representing the full-time MBA program, and in fact, it is one of the winners that we just announced. Sandeep Pahuja. Sandeep was selected by his classmates to deliver this brief address. Sandeep earned his bachelor's degree in economics from New York University, came to Berkeley Haas from Procter & Gamble. He has been a most active student leader, serving as vice president of the Haas Design and Innovation Club, VP of Allies for Q at Haas, which is our LGBT club, founding member of the Gender Equity Initiative. He's also a Skydeck Fellow for Entrepreneurship and a four-time graduate student instructor himself, among many other university and school activities. He is co-founding a company with his fellow MBA student, Ben Kilmer, and two Berkeley computer science PhDs. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandeep Pahuja.
My greatest fear in life is not to live up to my potential. And 2 years ago, it seemed more certain than ever that I was going to have to settle for a life that I did not want to lead. There was a voice in my head saying, "You're not ready." Round 1, rejection email. Round 2, rejection email. Round 3, rejection email. In these moments of intense self-doubt, that voice in my head got louder and louder and said, "I told you so." But in this time of intense self-doubt and feeling like all my hard work was for nothing, it was my friends and family that picked me up and pushed and challenged me to go after the life that I wanted to lead. And so I applied here to Berkeley Haas in round 4. A couple of weeks later, I got that fateful phone call we all received from a 510 area code. And I was so scared to pick up the phone because I knew what it meant and where we would be, that actually let it go to voicemail. Sorry, Stephanie. I like to think that I was the last person that Berkeley Haas let in, the one that they took a chance on, the one with a below average GMAT score, but the above average ability to grow facial hair very quickly. I really shaved like an hour ago, but there's really nothing I could do about it. But I came to Berkeley to open up my world and to see what was out there for me. Berkeley creates incredible investment bankers. They create incredible nonprofit startups and other companies. But I came here because Berkeley creates leaders. And Berkeley creates the kind of leaders that know what the right problem is to solve, and the right types of leaders who do it on their own terms and find their own path. But we wouldn't have gotten here today if it wasn't for all the people who were sure we could when we knew we couldn't. To the partner that said, you should move across the country, even though it's going to be harder on the two of us. To all of our friends who looked at our Instagram feed and said, what the hell are you doing in business school? All I see is pictures of Haas Vegas and Haas boats and Haas dogs and Haas Halloween and hashtag Haastag and hashtag Hawesome and today's hashtag Haas to Boss. Like, do you guys actually do anything or what? To our incredible professors who pushed us and challenged us to recognize the pitfalls of the business leaders that came before us. And to the amazing staff here at Berkeley that does all the little things with no fanfare, thank you. But most of all, I'm thinking about my family today that couldn't be here. My mom had to have some emergency surgery this week, and she was unable to be here with us. And so I just want to tell you, Mom, I love you. And I hope that the live stream is working better than Airwares 2, so you can actually watch this right now. Sorry, inside joke, family, inside joke. But most of all, I want to thank the class of 2015. We pushed each other, we challenged each other, and we supported each other. And if you're like me and you don't have a lot of family here today, I want you to look around to the people to your left and to your right, because you have 250 family members sitting right beside you. We did it together. A personal story is, I take my friend Gordon Yu, who pushed me to go take the Lean Launchpad class and join Ben Kilmer's team at a time when I was sure I couldn't take on anything else. And it's a push and a challenge that has changed my career and my path. So thank you, Gordon, because I'll be starting a company with Ben at the end of graduation. There are many stories like this and many things that we did, and we did them together. We had 5,000 people come to the 9 conferences we put on. We won 12 case competitions. We raised $150,000 and donated 150 days of our time to charity. We created one really, really good Haas cocktail. And we incredibly had 9 babies born in the 2 years here. So shout out to family. So we all came here because Berkeley saw potential in us 2 years ago. And we spent the last 2 years living up to that potential, and now it's our time to take that out into the world. So today I want to leave you with a challenge and turn my greatest fear into an asset for all of us. Find your own path. Don't go associate to engagement manager to partner. Do your own thing. Bounce around, take a step forward, take a step back, take a time out. Disappear for a little bit. Do what you got to do, but do it because it's your path. You spent so much of your time, your effort, your heart, your soul, and frankly your bank account on these last 2 years that you deserve it. And you know in your gut right now if you're on the right path or if you're not. And what I want you to do is take out your calendar and put an invite for 1 year from today. And I want you to put the name of the classmate who's pushed you and challenged you the most over these last 2 years. And if you're not on the right path, spend the next year doing the things that you love and that you're passionate about in your free time. And when you make that call 1 year from today, you're going to need it. to go away from the life that's comfortable and maybe paying you a lot of money for the life that's important and that means something to you. And if you don't get the gentle push you need, call me, because we're family. Our lives are short and our time is fleeting. Spend it with the ones you love, doing the things you want for the people that matter the most. We are ready. Thank you.
Solving the right problems, finding our own path. These are important messages. Thank you, Sandeep. It also gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Haas School Outstanding Graduate Student Instructor Award for the full-time MBA program. A graduate student instructor, or GSI as we call them, serves as an apprentice under the active supervision of the faculty member who is the instructor of record for the course. The winner is Kenneth Lee, a PhD student in agricultural and resource economics at Berkeley. He was the GSI for the course in data and decisions. He could not be here today, but congratulations to Kenneth Lee. Before we begin awarding the MBA degrees, it gives me great pleasure to announce the winners of the Chait Award for Excellence in Teaching. These are our Teacher of the Year awards. For the full-time MBA program is the first we will announce. The Chait Awards are named after the late Dean Emeritus Earl Bud Chait, who established them as Dean in 1976. The awards are judged by student committees on the basis of the following criteria. 1, excellence in teaching. 2, genuine interest in the students. And 3, sincere concern for the individual development of those students. This year's Chait Award winner is Professor John Morgan, who taught game theory. Congratulations, John. John is a remarkable member of this faculty, and I'm just delighted that he is connected with you at so deep a level. We will now recognize the full-time MBA program candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration. Assisting me will be Stephanie Fuji, who is our Assistant Dean for the full-time MBA program and admissions at Berkeley Haas. Stephanie will be joined by Haas Professor Rob Chandra, the winner of the Chait Faculty Teaching Award last year in 2014.
Pablo Uribe. Chad Reed. Daphne Espinoza. Federico Merino. Juan Zaruk. Yelena Khokhlova. Kadar Ahmed. Anikendra Ghosh. Samarth Agarwal. Serge Widraogo. Barath Shankaran. Alexander Sokolov. David Cardell. Carlo Cubedu. Gorka Bigara Diotusa. Pablo Bosch. Aaron Baudet. Nicholas Wobrock. Xavier Seta. You're going to test me. Gregory Guglielmo. Alvaro Sanchez. Eduardo Reyes. Zinicha Ninkovic. Ramya Surya Narayanan. Felipe Echegaray. Leonardo Levy. I know. Nicolas Schiaffino. Guillermo Porto Florido. Holy crap, there are a lot of them. Rodrigo Jorge Sanchez Prandi. Andrew Myers. Shaila Nareng Batra. Andrew Lee. Kristen Duffel. Barry Ween. Jessica Havek. Julia Silvergeld. Danielle Reed. Elizabeth Hadzima Perkins. Jacqueline Key. Niels Helmer. Anthony Ventre. Takanori Omote. Nipun Misra. Gordon Yu. Suleiman Hamad El-Beder. Benjamin Ferrara. Manuel Aristia. It's okay. Aaron Bryman. Juhi Tamboli. Chantani Balakrishnan. Sherry Wu. Arti Rao. Celine Nu Tran. Kristen Chen. Sarah Un. Willie Chu. Stephen Dang. Sebastian Tron. Paul Henry Jazanowski. Ali Kelly. Megan Stenger. Kim McGinnis. Zach Knight. Christopher Eckersley. Ryan Stanley. Liz Lowe. Benjamin Kilmer. Alexander Chun. Michael Sloan Rossiter. Jonathan Weinberg. Eric Miller. David Popkin. Brandon Cato. Johannes Koppel. Somit Goha. Oops. Tom Garland. Brandon Fong. Victoria Chiang. Andrea Zarkauskas, Corcoran. Jing Wang. Joseph Regenbogen. Daniel Wong. Julie Barmeyer. Betsy McCormick. Elizabeth Goodrich. Kurt Shaline. Janelle Orozco. Paul Hogan. Rory Costello. Chad Brinton. Tiger Lee. Matthew Richards. David Lashley. Paul Cole. Andrew Mitch. Garima Dingra. Alex Sauer. Sunil Rao. Lee Madeira. Katie Lewis LaMonica. Albie Vietersburg. Andrew Hinton. Robert Andrew Davis. Matthew Wong. Seth Lyon. Daniel Goldman. Omar Ayub. Andrew Goodman. Ivan Buchanan. Yunwoo Kim. Leo Popov. Max Anisimov. Ben Cooper. Evan Williams. Tim Johnson. Matthew Goodman. Taylor Cower. Sam Birnbaum. Noah Deitch. Tomonori Matsuki. Joseph Lukasiewicz. Alistair Truger. Bobby Davis. Stephen Weddle. Juan De Jesus. Rio Ito. Peter Garay. Jonathan Heine. Eyal Gurion. Gally Ross. Roy Aaron. Adi Barak. Casey Lord. David Elfant. Yaya Zhang. Alex Atienza. Robert Wisher. James Wang. Champ Sutepongchai. Bento Musnik. Manuel Sescosa. Ignacio Larraine. Rafael Gayon. Eric Prando. Jose Fierro. Will Swearingen. Ryan Evans. Vivek Okuja. James McAdams. Osei Ikwenobe. Christian Fab. Jesse Tao. Eric Chang. David Haas. Blake Shipley Street. Jeff Ruth. Justin Harnaz. Louis Renault. Akila Hughley. Chasen Godot. Marlon Quintero Tellez. Kais Al-Shahabi. William Lynn. Brendan Shanahan. I got this. Nathan Wojcik. Ajoy Rex Virendra Vase. Aditya Hindocha. Emily Rosing. Catherine Andresen. Frances Kimberly Chang. Moses Lowe. Mohammed Zaki Prabowo. Andrew Berry. Liang Chai. Serena Chiang. Kelly Ling. Jackie Chen. Kate Scott Furumoto. Jacqueline Laird. Naoko Miyamoto. Tia Louise Hansen. Carmela Isabel Francesca Almario Aquino. Amar Patel. Peter Trujillo. Yolanda Zane Lee. Chandrasagar Pandya. Hylian Wang. Furhan Lakani. Joseph Kim. David Shilong Liu. Shamit Adya. Kavita Patel. Yevgeny Kozhemyakin. Katerina Berilov. Megan Elizabeth Bradfield. James Allred. Ross Trenary. Yana Beiswinger. Abigail Brashears. Christopher Sims. William Louis Leuchter Mindell. Danielle Platt. Christine Hammond. Patrick Menendez. Nicole Gascari. Guillaume Klein. William or Billy? William Blaustein. David Sagalov. Bradford from Malt. Brian Canty. Matt Gunderson. Zane Keller. Thank you. Miran Ahmed. Najat Udali. Kan Yan. Benya Patkau. Fabian Weissenberger. Sungmin Monica Lee. Jeongjin Lee. Michael Lind. Charles Guo. Takahiro Tanaka. Yuki Nakazato. Rohit Abraham. Dan Hudis. David Kagan. Jess Deputy. Zoe Sifram. Anna Stolyarova. Kate Cote. Kristen Allen. Mary Claire Olszewski. Locke Litwer. Cathal Ashley Blake. Sandeep Pahuja. Jesse Silverberg. Sharif Karmali. Muladris Belkabir Murani. Corey Vargas Caro. Katie Benintende. Nikita Mitchell.
Let us now turn to the Haas School's evening and weekend MBA program. Our evening weekend MBA program is the most selective part-time MBA program in the country, ranked #1 again this spring in U.S. News and World Report. Our evening and weekend MBA students complete the program over 3 years. While most are fully employed, many of the students have families. Most of them make the difficult commute from all parts of the Bay Area and even far beyond. We are proud of the motivated, energetic, and multi-talented professional students that this program attracts. It is now my pleasure to present the Evening and Weekend MBA Award for the Outstanding Academic Achievement. This is given to the student in the program with the highest grade point average, as in the full-time program. This year we have 2 winners, each of whom earned exactly the same 3.92 grade point average. And the winners are Andrew McNeil and Oren Shetrit. Andrew and Warren. A little bit more on Andrew and Oren. Andrew McNeil, employed as a senior scientific engineer at the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, which is located on the hill just above us. His favorite class at Haas, corporate finance, taught by Professor Ulrike Malmendier, who is here today. His professors and classmates have helped him understand biases and shape out individual and also shared experiences. He believes this insight will help him and guide him in his professional goals and in his personal life. Oren Shetrit also worked at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. Not all of our students are from Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, but some very, very good ones are. And he is now the co-founder and CEO of Whisker Labs, a firm that he launched while he was a student here at Berkeley Haas. He says his most valuable class, venture capital and private equity, which helped him immensely while he was raising funds for his new company. He notes that he successfully closed his round of financing 3 months after the last class. That is pretty quick. Thank you and congratulations to both Andrew and Oren. Turning now, selected by his classmates, the evening weekend MBA program student speaker today. It is Brandon Middleton. Brandon earned his Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and worked for Cisco as a senior sales engineer at the time he started at Berkeley Haas. He now works at Microsoft as a technology strategist. He has served as a VP of the Evening Weekend MBA Association, as a musician in residence. How do you get that job? That's a good job. And as Berkeley Board Fellow, after graduation, Brandon plans to devote time and energy to his wife and daughter, work, teaching, traveling, and music. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Middleton.
Here we go. All right, curtains up. All right, I'd like to dedicate this to my mom and dad that are here. Mom is the hardest working woman that I know. They're out from Chicago. She set a very, very high bar for me academically and with scholastics in mind. And to my father, whose wisdom, humility, and servant leadership have been invaluable to me as a young black man growing up in America. This bud's for you. All right, so that was quick, right? 3 years ago, we were at the Berkeley Marina, drinking beers and sipping wine and having a good time. We were all so super excited to jump onto this 3-year journey that we've now been on all together. Today, I'm happy to report to you guys that I'm still very, very excited, although for an entirely different reason today than we were probably back 3 years ago. So what does one say, what does one do in front of 500 of his classmates and their families? I had no clue, so naturally I did what any other self-respecting MBA student would do. What'd I do? I Googled it. So I went through a bunch of these commencement speeches, and there were some famous, some very obscure, but the things that stuck out to me were an array of humor, e.g. Conan O'Brien's commencement speech to Dartmouth. We had humanitarianism, Bill Gates speaking to Harvard. We had encouragement, John Legend's speech at UPenn. Lastly, we had Steve Jobs at Stanford giving us insights on life and how to live. So, I've got a few quotes that summarize and capture the essence of what I think Haas stands for. Quote number 1 is from Toni Morrison, someone that I read. When one is free, one must free someone else. So this speaks to the responsibility that we have as individuals who are educated, who have been privileged to go here. I'd like to see all of you take your gifts to the world to make it a better place. Quote number 2, you agree? Quote number 2 is from one of our own, Biz Stone, the Twitter guy, right? Creativity is a renewable resource. Be as creative as you like, as often as you like, because you can never run out. Agree with that? So in the spirit of creativity, I'm going to try to do something that I don't think has ever been done and deliver to you guys my homage to the class of 2015 in hip-hop form. You guys ready for this? All right, here we go. Bear with me. Dearly beloved, as we close this last chapter, it's appropriate to be sent off by the class's favorite rapper. When I heard I'd been elected to give to you this message, I knew I had to try to do it big and make it epic. So for the record, this was the last assignment I accepted. First commencement rap ever. Guinness Book of World Records? Maybe. A student always, beyond yourselves forever, questioning the status quo so we could change this world together. DCF, SG&A, and WTP, LBO, IRR, and EVC. All foreign concepts to Brandon at the start, but many thousands of dollars later, y'all, it's tattooed on my heart. MBA, marriage, babies, and academics, manifestations from all three I've seen from the beginning. I'm gonna miss a lot of things like taking naps on the shuttle, like sometimes forgetting to read a case and somehow not getting in trouble. Like Jim, our photographer, like Dean Lyons' dances, like Saturdays not checking and showing up at the wrong campus. Y'all never did that, right? Probably wasn't your struggle, but you must admit that being EW teaches you to hustle, teaches you to juggle. My, look at how we've grown. Here I am, multitasking homework, family, and watching Game of Thrones. So thank you, Haas, for the challenge, and thank you for the love. We've all done much more than we thought we were capable of. Congrats to the spouses, the professors, and the staff on a job well done, filled with lots of fun and laughs. And last, my hat's off to the class of 15. You're a good-looking group. You're so fresh and so clean. This for gold and for Oski, for accent, for blue. This is Brandon Middleton signing off, now bidding you adieu. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that, Brandon. Thank you for that, for your words, for the impact your music has brought to us as a community for years and many other things. Thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure to turn to the winner of the GSI Outstanding Graduate Student Instructor Awards for this, our evening and weekend MBA program. The winner is Moulay Drist Belkabir Emrani. Moulay Drist is a member of the full-time MBA class of 2015. He was the GSI for the Data and Decisions course, Data and Decisions. Congratulations, Moulay Drist. Thank you very much. This year's winner of the Chait Teaching Award for faculty in the weekend, portion of our evening and weekend MBA program is Professor Xiaojun Zhang, who taught the financial reporting course. Congratulations to Xiaojun. Xiaojun, thank you. This year's winner of the Chait Teaching Award, again, that's our Teacher of the Year Award for the evening portion of our evening and weekend MBA program, is Professor Panos Patatoukas, who taught financial information analysis. Congratulations, Panos. Extraordinary teachers all, thank you. It's an important part of what we do here. These are extraordinary contributors to our program. We now recognize the evening and weekend program candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration. Assisting me today will be Courtney Chandler, Assistant Dean for the evening and weekend MBA program, and Professors Panos Patatoukas and Xiaojun Zhang, the winners of the Teacher of the Year for 2015.
Stephen Seipel. Camille Unver. Srikanth Dola. Thomas Malik. Betty Sun. Maybell Bay Chang. Iona DaCosta Pereira. Apurva Garwar. Matthew LaCroix. Manish Mukherjee. Matthew Helling. Ed Hernandez. Ben Bradbury. Abhijit Lemay. Wen Hai Pan. Bonnie Maduri. Ruslan Zinarov. Brian Ross. Brian Lee. Muhan Krishnamurthy. Surya Tumala. Mike Kakunda. Patrick Wang. Arkady Sasanov. Julie Frankel Jacobson. Emily Lammers. Lauren Collette. Caitlin Panashi. Erica Sampson McCormick. Henry Leong. Andrew Hoffman. Constantinos Dino Bacuras. Kim Mason. Irina Bukatek. Brianna Harkney. Desiree Early. Liangben Yao. Jeff Wilson. Kai Ha Stacy Mack. Rex Liu. Darnell William Kemp II. Jean-Pierre Coimat. Leo Wallach. Kyle Akira Ora. Matt Skinner. Mukesh Ranjan. Joshua Hanawinkle. Nick Andrade. Michael Montgomery. Gordon Nabilski. Silvio Garvanja. Michael Rizzo. Tanya Bushniak. Lisa Ann Chung. Kevin Zhang. Jared Backlund. Bharat Sampath. Sanjeev Das. Shovan Das. Hari Kathy. Avinash Shakar. Giva Solomonovich. Puni Sen. Kaylin Nistala. Prasad Sayathamadavan. Pavitra Krishna. Veena Valuria. Nagu Rangan. Eugene Shapiro. Keka Mandel. Ivan Kumi. Patanjali Varanasi. Prasanna Tharagarajan. Travis Zimbelman. Sridhar Iyer. Amarbir Ajla. Pankaj Rathi. Geet Chopra. Rekha Ayar. Parag Javari. Raza Syed. Manish Surti. Vanindra Buligarili. Shankaran Janardaran. Arvind Balakumar. Baps Pulianda. Rohan Bafna. Anirban Deb. Prashant Bardwaj. Manesh Shilotri. Julian Golan Brown. Nilesh Murthy. Mukesh Kataria. Vino Muhanam. Promit Mansata. Sam Garib. Amy O'Callahan. Akila Hussain. Bandarwala, excuse me. Ann Boyle. Joanna Huang. Milan Lee. Moon Baisha. Yao Yao Rebecca Wang. Ellie Erickson. Andrea Lieboff. Tamara Patterson. Tamara Patterson. Manoj Koshi. Caroline Monroe. Liana Riss. Jonathan Spring. Nicholas Caldwell. Roger Pye. Ash Jafari. Mahul Jain. Josh Hogan. Andrew Shing. Wayne Ferguson. Eric Lay. Brian Tom. Alex Potashnik. Michael Bennett. Rajesh Anna Tharaban. Nitin Nagarkati. Mukund Rajakumar. Taiwan Shim. David Liu. Chris Byers. Kim Yen Nguyen. Suba Maturi. Chris Mantai. Lei Zhang. Nilu Gutch. Mathangi Siva Ramakrishnan. Jared Blanton. Ryan Hunter. Doug Seckinger. Nancy Ho. David Brandt. Benjamin Bigot. Ridham Shah. Alec Kolekar. Harvinder Singh. Naveen Munagala. Karthik Jala Manjala. Demon Bata Charji. Karthian Nathilvar. Devin Christensen. Anurag Agarwal. Mira Marijanovic. Ashish Kaul. Tom White. Nicholas Rini. Mark Bratz. Anthony Verdon. Kartik Papu. Jeffrey Coe. Stephen Yan. Luke Powell. Gaurav Shah. Dave Post. Brian Thomas. Gary DeBerry. Praful Lachandani. Joe Sa. Mohammed Jarfat Dideen. Joseph Bass. Alex Lynn. Eric Ma. Go Nagatani. Matt Al-Gayer. Adam Bayer. Vency Sachev. Sandy White. Jonathan Vasquez. Keith Sinclair. Vishal Bhargava. Mandir Hazaria. Kira Sass. Amy Thompson. Katie Horton. Amita Tamkoria. Lauren Madden. Ashley Kleckner Atkinson. Jesse Samansky. Michael Bellicose. David Kuntz. Scott Harris. Shaker Shindi. Neha Shah. Faye Paulson. Arti Shetty Blidorn. Rahu Mahajan. Sony Dhaliwal. Stanley Shimamoto. Adrian Koch. Tharak Krishnan. Pranay Kekini. Shankar Hariharan. Arun Tunisia. Michael Guastamokia. Sheila Gastamakio. Najib Haddad. Manu Parbakar. Andy Yen. Andy Tang. Linda Jiang. Susan Trong. Hideaki Oshiba. Andy McNeil. Oren Shetrit. Brandon Middleton.
At this time, At this time, will all the candidates for the degree of Berkeley Master of Business Administration from the full-time and the evening weekend MBA programs please rise? Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the President of the University of California and the Chancellor of UC Berkeley, I grant you the degree Master of Business Administration. Congratulations. Those hats are expensive, okay? Be careful. Please be seated. Thank you. All of the graduates here have commenced a new lifelong relationship with the Haas School and also with UC Berkeley. As alumni, we are eager to welcome you to this new distinction. There are a number of things to think about as alums, the network that you are part of, that you will draw from literally for the rest of your life, and that we need you to connect back into for the rest of your life. When we think about supporting our own, that is really one of the things that makes an alumni network so powerful, that we support our own. And we take care of our own by engaging in this alumni network, not just because we share an institutional affiliation, of course we share that, but in part because we share values, and the values that we share that create the identity of this business school and this university. That is part of why we are so comfortable recommending somebody for a job or an opportunity, recommending somebody that will represent us, represent the school that we are all part of, because we share those values. We take care of our own by joining the long chain of past alumni who have invested in this program. Their time, their energy, their financial resources. When I think about this institution, you know, we are the business school. We were the first privately funded buildings on campus. Many of the faculty who sit behind me, if we didn't have these wonderful endowed chairs that have supported this wonderful school, these are the investments back into the school that really make it more than a school. They make it an institution. And you are part of that, of course, as well. One of the things, if you ask me, what should I do next? Here's what you should do next. Find the chapter, your alumni chapter in your region. We have chapters literally all across the globe. I know you're going to be busy over the coming months. Connect to that chapter. Find out what value is in it. Find out what you can contribute back into it. Your time, your energy, opportunities for other people. All networks are reciprocal, and we need you to connect to it very, very quickly. That can be in Shanghai, in Santiago, in San Francisco, wherever it is. Connect to it, stay connected to it. We need you to be part of this institution for the rest of your life. And please, stay in touch with us. We care about you. We are very proud of you. It is a remarkable group of people we have here. The faculty of the Haas School of Business has instituted also a graduation with honors program for the Berkeley MBA, to encourage students to strive for academic excellence. The top 10% of graduating MBA students, as measured by grade point average, have the distinction of officially graduating with honors. Members of the MBA classes who are eligible for this distinction, based on academic performance to date, are listed in your commencement booklet. So at this time, would all the Berkeley MBA students who are honors candidates please stand and let us recognize you, and congratulations to all of you. In so many ways, academic achievement is really the defining quality of this University of California at Berkeley, and that our students have achieved so much while here in this domain is very, very important to us as staff and faculty of the business school. Finally, today, I want to acknowledge the members of the class of 2015 who have earned the honor of being named a Berkeley Haas Beyond Yourself Fellow. Let me explain. This important distinction is about giving back to the community and it is an important part of our Haas School culture. It is also part of our defining principle, of course, Beyond Yourself, which is in the name here. The Berkeley Haas Beyond Yourself Fellows Program encourages students to get involved in their community by formally acknowledging those students who do so while they are here as students. Any student has completed 15 or more hours of community service per semester at Haas qualifies. The program poses no limit to the number of fellows that can qualify. All of our Beyond Yourself fellows are listed also in your commencement booklet. So now, will all the members of the class of 2015 who have been named Berkeley Haas Beyond Yourself Fellows, will you please rise and accept our congratulations and thanks? Before I bring this ceremony to a close, I want to invite you all to join us for the commencement reception in the courtyard at the Haas School. We are full of pride at your achievement today. We eagerly anticipate great accomplishments. You can do this, and you know that you can do this. There are so many different ways that your lives and careers will have ripple effects on all of us in this stadium and indeed many, many other people throughout the world. That's part of why we get so much out of the work that we do, because we can see those effects in you. It is tremendously satisfying. It's part of why we are all in this together. You have our best wishes for success. Congratulations. Thanks to all of you for coming. This commencement ceremony is concluded. Thank you.